respectfully, like, I think there's a big chasm between like private sector knowledge and then, public sector and regulation. How do we think about working together most effectively between these two, not at all opposing, but just different sides?
I was talking earlier at London Tech Week, and one of the things I said is, what's the most important thing that people should look to why the UK can be the best place for this anywhere in the world? And I said the answer was leadership. It's just people in your industry having the confidence that the government, and in particular me as Prime Minister, gets it. And I do. It's partly my background, where I spent my time working, whether it's in California or elsewhere. But I want to make sure that government acts a bit more like the world that you come from in terms of its ability to be innovative, to move at pace. But I think it's really important that government is engaging constantly with the innovative part of our country, because that's how we're going to drive growth and create jobs for people. And government needs to be understanding what do we need to put in place to make sure that that is successful.
I totally agree with you. How do you think about measuring success of what we do and how we work together?
Yeah. So one of the things I did which was quite I think disruptive and radical in a good way, was I created a brand new department. The Department for Science, Innovation and Technology, because it was important to me. I wanted to send a strong signal that this agenda is something that government needs to take seriously and do differently. And that department is going to do things differently. It's attracting people from the industry. It's taking a slightly more risk approach to innovation. So I think that is all powerful. How do we measure success? Look, the traditional things, how much venture capital are we raising here? How many unicorns are we creating here? I think we all know the stats, right? More than France and Germany combined, more unicorns than anywhere apart from the US and China. Are the next exciting technologies all happening here, whether that's quantum, engineering, biology, AI, et cetera, fintech? I think those are all the kind of obvious ways to measure it. But I think, are large companies coming to locate here, which they are, right? Actually, just incredible announcement today, Andreessen Horowitz, all the world's most successful VC investors opening their first international office here in the UK. And that just comes on the back of Palantir saying that they're going to do their AI headquarters for research here in the UK. And we've had all the large labs, Anthropic, OpenAI, joining DeepMind and opening international offices here in the UK. So again, those are all metrics that tell me we must be getting something right, because companies are voting with their feet.
How much do you think success compounds? I know that sounds a strange one, but when you start to see Andreessen, it's kind of like dominoes falling.
Yes.
And suddenly, I spend a lot of time on Twitter. I have a lot more free time than you do. But you suddenly see people go oh, wow. And this is a real signal. And then you saw a lot more VCs be like, oh, wow, is it the next Miami? And are we seeing this incredible rise again at London, like we have done over the last few years?
Yeah, I think so. I think success breeds success. I think as well, given the pace that the tech ecosystem works at, government needs to be responsive to that pace and just constantly show that we're moving forward. And Andreessen coming is great. Lots of people are already here, and I think things are going really well already. But if I think back, look, this is a country that was at the forefront of the Industrial Revolution. Think of all the things that were invented here in the UK, steam engine, the forefront of electricity, how we mechanized textiles, how we built modern roads, the process for making steel, even the lawnmower saying was another thing. I mean, you name it, it was invented here. I think we're at the cusp of another period like that, and there's no doubt in my mind that the UK can lead that again as we did in the past.